Welcome to MATIN Talks. First ever MSA-PSG contemporary short speech format competition.
Our first MATIN speaker for the night used the power of manga.
How many of you have heard this before?
At the moment, I really thought that I was
MATIN Talks Sharing the Light. 46th Annual MSA-PSG Conference, 2016.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Salam alaikum, brothers and sisters. I want to start my talk with a statement. Hijab is not limitation, it is immunity. How many of you have heard this before? Show me your hands. How many of you believe this is a true statement? But I believe it's totally not true. When I was a teenager and the first time I heard it, I felt that this cannot be true. It is a limitation, because how is it not a limitation while I felt limited by it? Most of my fun activities was limited by hijab. For example, I could not play soccer with my cousins anymore, or it was hard to skate with hijab. Hijab is a limitation. It is immunity too, but it's absolutely a limitation. I want you to know when I talk about hijab, I don't talk about only piece of clothes. Obviously, I'm talking about modesty. This covering is necessary for it, but not enough. When I mention hijab, I can do whatever my peers do. I can go wherever I want. I can sit with boys and tell a joke and laugh loud. As you see nowadays, there are women with cover who shake hands with men. This is a joke, you know? This is not the hijab that we believe in. And it's not just about hijab. All the Islamic rules, all of these requirements like Som, Salat, Khoms, Jihad, all of them are a limitation. For example, when you fast, you don't eat or drink between Fajr and Maghrib, so you limit yourself. And there are additional requirements upon us for our fast to be proper. So again, you limit yourself. But here's the point. Is limitation a negative thing? Does this picture can describe limitation truly? I'm a mother of a 4-year-old daughter. She has started asking me about hijab these days. And I was curious why so many Muslim families in the United States was not successful to introduce hijab to their kids. I wanted to know the problem so that I could prevent it. And I got my answer. The problem is that we don't understand the meaning of limitation. The media dictates to us that limitation is like a chain and bind us and keep us down so we cannot fly freely. So we have to break them. If we accept their prescription, then we would have to change our beliefs in order to reach freedom. If we accept that limitations are not good, then when it is time to talk about hijab or any other rules in Islam, we try to make our kids understand that this is not a limitation. Our kids learn that you can do whatever you want, just try to keep your appearance like Muslims. And then they think, when they feel freedom is in danger, they limit it. Their rules have to be limited. The hijab has to be limited. But it is better to explain to our kids that Islam is not about our personal wishes. I want it or I like that. Islam is about worshiping to reach Allah's satisfaction. If you succeed in making them understand that, then you will have given them the answer to all of their questions about why do I have to do that? Because Allah wants us to do that. Don't forget that we have to start early. When our kids are the children are so small. We have to give them the opportunities to raise the modesty in them, opportunities to exercise patience. We need to encourage them to sacrifice their wishes for their siblings and their friends. We have to have them wear hijab sometimes to get used to it. Give them some chance to talk about how to respect other people's privacy. Raise the modesty in boys and girls by choosing suitable clothes for them to wear. It is time to talk to our kids. We have to talk about the real value of the women. That is inner beauty, like wisdom, morals, intellect, and not appearance. Often we tell our daughters how beautiful they are. This is not a bad thing. But we also need to emphasize their other positive qualities. If we only tell our girls how beautiful they are, then after a while, they will feel they are only valued by their beauty. If I want to be liked, I have to be beautiful and show my beauty. And how can a girl do that and still maintain hijab? It is time to praise their personality. Unfortunately, those light screens rob us of many opportunities to interact with our kids. New research shows that most of the brain's development occurs in the first 3 years of life. Between conception and age 3, a child's brain undergoes an impressive amount of change. As you see in this picture, at the birth, it already has about all of the neurons it will ever have. It doubles in size in the first years, and by age 3, it has reached 80% of its adult volume. Even more importantly, synapses are formed at a faster rate during this year than at any other time. In fact, the brain creates many more of them than it needs. At age 2 or 3, the brain has up to twice as many synapses as it will have in adulthood. It means after those first years, you can change their brain a lot. It is interesting, right? So let's talk with our kids and our youth about it. Let's show them good examples. Tell them stories of amazing, strong, intelligent women who honor hijab. Tahira Dabbagh. She passed away 2 months ago. She was a political activist before the revolution in Iran. And she was widely tortured for years. When Imam Khomeini went to Neufel Chateau, and the police in France said that Imam Khomeini could only have a women police as his bodyguard, she went to Neufel Chateau, France, and became his personal guard. She was the first female commander in the Iranian army, and she wrote the statute of the army after the Islamic Revolution in Iran. I read her memoir. One time during the Iraq-Iran war, she went to the Imam Khomeini right from the war field to talk with him about the war. And she wore her usual coat and a scarf. And Imam asked her, "Sister, don't you have a chador? Do you want me to ask my son to buy a chador for you?" She answered, "No, sir, that's not an issue. I was in the field and I had to carry lots of guns and stuff, and chador will limit me. It is hard." Imam said, "But chador is better for the women." She mentioned, "I wore chador after that all the time till now." Hijab is limitation, but limitation is beautiful. And this is not just about Muslims. All the successful people limit themselves in a specific ways. The only difference is that we limit ourselves according to the Allah's boundaries, the one who created us and knows our creation best. Limitation provides a structure. I think this picture is better for limitation. Limitation provides a structure. When you want to make a ladder, you must cut the wood in a specific sizes, no shorter, no longer. You are limited in a specific measurement. If you do not cut the pieces accordingly, then the ladder will not be stable and you will fall off the steps. Limitations are good. They are for your body and for your nafs. And your soul will be free as you start to limit your body wishes. When you limit yourself in the limits that Allah has determined for you, then you start going up, step by step, to the sky, to the nur, to the absolute freedom of the soul from biases and any bothering habitats. And then you will enjoy your flight to the Sa'adat, inshallah.